Hi everyone, Dog Logic here, and we are back again with another tutorial, and this one is how to teach the dopamine bucket, aka box feeding. So both the same thing, just have two different names. Now, as always, we're going to do a what, why and how. If you were not interested in the what and the why, I will timestamp the how somewhere for you to skip ahead. But what is box feeding? So basically, this is when you will see a dog with their head in either a box or a bucket, and it looks like it's super glued in there. There could be anything going on around it, but the dog has got their head in a bucket. So the question is, why on earth would we do this? What are we trying to achieve? Now, in my opinion, this is a very, very underrated skill, activity, game to play with your dog. It is awesome, and I think everyone should do it because it's so easy. But the point of it is, basically, you've got your dog with their head in the bucket, and they're in there waiting for the moment where some food comes down into the bucket. They're on task, they're doing that. And what happens is when they're in that state of anticipation, they are entering into their seeking system, which basically throws dopamine into their bodies. That's essentially what's going on. That's why it's called the dopamine bucket. So then with their head in there, they're going, oh, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. The seeking is better than the finding in terms of neurotransmitters for dogs. So that's the point of it. Now, what's the sort of application of this? What are we doing? It's because when the dog is in this state and you're able to start introducing distractions around, it teaches them such resilience to stay on this mission. No, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. And even though there's noises, there's movement, there could even be touch going on around them, they're like, nope, I am on a mission. And the nice thing is that things generalize out of the bucket really quite easily. So for a prime example, my little dog Aya, who was here a second ago, she's run away, she didn't like fireworks, not a fan. So we did this to help her get through her firework aversion, and we did it so much, so much, that earlier this year when we had a different sort of fireworks, she was out sunbathing in the garden. She couldn't have cared less because it has moved out of the bucket, it's generalized out. So I rate this massively. I think it's a really, really great thing to do for your dog. You can also use this if you've got a dog that's not keen at the vets. You can put them on task in the bucket and then they can have blood draws, vaccinations, whatever, because they're on task in the bucket, they're not coming out. So that's another use. It's also very commonly used in scent work because it helps strengthen indication. So if you're teaching scent work to your dog right now as well, definitely add this in as another skill. Doesn't look like it's connected, but it is. It helps build the strength in that stillness. So many different uses of this. I'm not sure if it actually originated from scent work or not, but either way, it helps. So there's no reason not to do it. So now we're going to go on to the how, and I'm going to move to a more useful part of my house.
A few moments later.
Alrighty, so now we are going on to the how. So first of all, what are we going to need? Well, high-tech equipment, guys. You're going to need a bucket. Some sort of bucket or box or bowl. It all depends on the size of your dog, actually. But basically, you want something they can put their head inside, but their eyes aren't popping out, so they can fully get their face inside. Some people do get purpose-built boxes for this. I'm a lot cheaper than that. I went to Amazon. But if you've got a teacup Yorkie, you might only need some variety of kitchenware. So just work out what you need based on the size of your dog. But the idea is their entire head fits inside. I'm also going to need some food. So I have got some of Aya's dinner. And I'm going to need a dog. Aya, are you coming? Aya's going to be our demo dog whenever she does show up. And if you're like me, where the skin's falling off your hands because you're allergic to dog saliva, whoops, you're going to need a glove. Whoopsie. Are you coming now? Glove's gone on. She knows what that means. Hello. So this bucket is actually super handy because it folds down. Now, some dogs are grand and they'll just throw their head in the bucket. Some are not. So especially if you've got a more nervous dog. Aya started off, we had to work flat. I had to put the food on. I actually had to put her bowl on here first before she would then eat off this. And then I was able to go out one section and then out another section until we got the full size, but we're there now. So what we want to do, we've got our bucket, we've got our dog, we've got some food, and we want to pop the bucket down and be ready with our food on hand. We're not throwing one kibble in here, we're throwing a handful each time. So bucket goes down, And dogs are naturally interested in what's going on in a bucket. And in the beginning, you are going to be continuously dropping. And that's absolutely fine. Don't worry about being really, really continuous on it. Because over time, you're going to have that moment where she stops eating and her head stayed in the bucket. She stayed still. So then I threw the food. And what you're going to do is just build up this pause. So again, there's nothing in the bucket right now. She's holding her head in there. So she's getting more food. And this does take a bit of time to build up. So don't worry if it's taken you a good few weeks at the earlier stages. That's absolutely fine. Oh, and she came out the bucket. I don't know why, but the dog comes out the bucket, you immediately pick it up. This is a special bucket. This is a magic bucket. This is my bucket. You can't have my bucket. Make the bucket special. If the bucket's out all the time, it's not special. This is our special dopamine bucket. Pop it back down and go again. Easy peasy. And once they are like this, there's no food inside, she's holding her head in, add distractions. But start small on your distractions. Don't start jumping around and making big noises. Start really small. Drop a pencil on the carpet, you know? Do a little gentle tap of the bucket. Little things like that. But obviously, if we want to have our dog with their head in the bucket, we want to be able to tell them when to take their head out as well. This is where you use your terminal marker. Yes. I take my bucket away. And you will be able to work yourself up to a point where you can really start to bother this dog. What's going on? Ooh, ooh. Still in the bucket. Beautiful. So for example, I could pick up her foot and cut her nails. Could pick up the other foot, cut her nails. Pick up both her feet, check her butt. Do whatever I need to do. But she's on task. She's in the bucket. She doesn't care about anything else, and that's the important part here. Beautiful. And the more you do this, the better they get at it, quite simply. And then, obviously we're doing this in the house because it is about 47 degrees outside, but start doing it outside as well. Do it on locations of your walk. Once you've practiced firework noises from your speakers inside the house, go somewhere outside where you can just a little bit hear them and try it there. And then work it up until the point where you can actually be in a sensible distance from your fireworks. Yes? Good girl. And then, yeah, that is how you get through these sort of things. But this is awesome because it doesn't take a huge amount of time. It's the same amount of time as if she was eating out of her bowl anyway. It's the same amount of inconvenience as if she was eating out of her bowl. So there is no downside. So as always, give it a bash and let us know if you need more help. Not all dogs are the same. You might run into hiccups that you don't know what to do next. This is where you drop a comment and we will help you with it. Have fun training.